This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
And the pitch is swung on, hit the right field, hit deep. Whitefield going back at the track, over his head, and over the wall. Do you believe that?
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Ramirez with a drive to deep right, away back, goal!
Hey, hits a bomb out there by the Rocks. And boy, oh boy, this third inning is now showtime.
It is a Judgian blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to spin rates to game-changing moments. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live.
Hey!
Here's Chris Townsend.
You know, I got to tell you, I know we talk a lot about how nice it is out here at the Coliseum. Take a seat. Take a seat. Take a seat. You really, if you haven't been out here, and I understand we talk about crowds and we talk about all this other stuff and, you know, whether people are coming out or not. I'm just going to tell you, as someone that comes out here every single day, as well as the voice of summer, the voice of your Oakland Athletics, Ken Korak, joins us. I can't remember the last time our weather was actually this good.
We haven't seen a cloud in about 2 months out here,
And
Chris,
it's, and
right?
it's not,
you come out, it's great every day. It's perfect.
It's not hot.
No, it's
a little warm,
we're
but
very,
a little breeze.
I've always kind of felt that way because if you travel quite a bit around the league and you go to some of these places in the summertime, especially like Kansas City or St. Louis, where it's, you know.
You couldn't wear that shirt.
I've been in Baltimore when it was 100 degrees and 100% humidity. I mean, really. It's like taking a shower. When you leave the hotel, it feels like you've just taken a shower.
You'd be drenched in that shirt right now.
Yeah, so I've always thought this was fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one reason why I love living up here, man. It's great.
Well, the Yankees.
And I think that a lot of, you know, I talk to our coach, as you do a lot, and they come out early and players get their work done, and you always know you're going to play, and you always know you've got a chance to go out and get some extra work in. You're not worried about thunderstorms in the afternoon and stuff like that, too.
Well, you always see, especially the guys with the other teams, they come out here, and it's like they're in, like, muscle shirts, shorts. They're like, oh, this is great. I mean, that's why Jesse Winker was here with the Seattle Mariners. You know, he played in Cincinnati all those years, which in the summertime, my God. And they're like, he's like, I love this place. I mean, they love being outside. You know, every single venue in baseball should have a roof other than the California teams.
Well, yeah.
I mean, no offense to the historic stadiums or anything, but they should have a roof. But that's why players love coming here because, as you said, it's like, this is perfect.
Yeah, and there have been years where the marine layer was in earlier at night and it was cooler at night, and some of the new guys would go, God, does it ever get warm here? When does summer start? And I said, get to the postseason and start playing October baseball out here, and it's going to be fabulous.
You know, the Yankees come to town, and I did this for my hit on NBC today, is I want to remind everybody, when we saw them last, they were high rolling. You're talking 15-and-a-half game lead. Everybody's talking about they could set the record for most wins. They're on this crazy pace. No one can beat them. They're this juggernaut. And you can't see the scoreboard behind us, but there's a final already in baseball today. That is Tampa beating Anaheim already, and the lead is cut all the way to 7.
Tampa swept 4 against the Angels, so they caught the Angels are scuffling, as you know, and they have for several months now. The way I look at it, too, is that if you look at the Yankees, the bottom of the order, last 3 or 4 guys, now they're getting Stanton back. So that lengthens their lineup, Chris, but I'm not saying they're easy to pitch to because they've hit a ton of home runs. It starts with Judge, but last 3 or 4 guys in their lineup, and over the last 3 or 4 weeks, just haven't been producing a whole lot. I also think this, Chris, that there's no way they were going to sustain what they did. Like their record for 60 games was incredible. For the next 60, it was mediocre. It was like 29-31, something like that. So there was no way they were going to sustain the record that they had going for the first 60 games. And that's one of the great things about playing 162 and that is that
Yes.
you kind of are who you are at the end. So this is I think they've corrected back to probably the record that is more reflective of the team they have, which is still a great club that's in first place by 7 games, but they weren't going to keep the pace up that they were playing at earlier in the year.
It doesn't matter which sport. One thing I know that fans and people, talk show people have talked about, we got to reduce the games in baseball. Football plays too much. College football plays too much. NBA, hockey. But the reality is in all these long seasons, I mean, football for their sport now plays an extra game. It's a long season. It's whether it's NFL or it's baseball, you see a team's warts by the end of the year. Everybody's got warts. And you truly, in a long season, whatever your sport is, you get exposed.
You do, and you get exposed if you don't have depth, because how many teams get through the whole year, get through 6 months without having guys hurt or slumping or sending somebody down? So it tests the entirety of your organization too, Chris, especially when you get into August. And like the A's are playing 17 straight games right now. So it can be a war of attrition. And I think all of that goes into the kind of the beauty of the story that's told every day in baseball. I think it's a long season. Don't get me wrong, but it does identify the best teams, I think, at the end.
Yeah, I've thought about recently, because people have been asking me questions. I've been thinking about what we do, and we really do 3 different shows a day. It's 3 shows. You may think they're all the same, but A's Cast Live is more of a talk show about the A's and all Major League Baseball. A's Total Access is a pregame show. We get you ready for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the post-game show, A's Clubhouse show, is a complaint line. It's a post-game
1-800 vent to me. I'm Chris Townsend.
But all 3 shows are different. And
right.
So when you do it for 17 straight days, but it's the beauty of our sport, right? The players are grinding it. You got to come up with everything you got to come up with every single day. That's part of our grind and also what we love about it.
It's kind of I'm oddly attracted to the rhythm of it. And I think one of the things that when I started 1,000 years ago, and I did my first full season in the minor leagues, which was 1984, and you're playing literally almost every day in the minor leagues. You might have 4 or 5 days off in 5 months. That it was tough. I mean, that adjustment was tough to get yourself focused and ready and geared up to do what we do every day. But as the years have gone on, I kind of found it kind of oddly attractive. Like you're attracted to the rhythm because you know that the baseball season has a rhythm to it. And if you don't get on board with it, you have no chance and you can't fight it. Right? I'm sure you go through this. There are days when you're tired or maybe you just kind of don't feel that, excited about going to the ballpark.
That
but then
cheery for the pregame show.
But then I think your routine kicks in.
Yeah.
Right? And there are worse places to be. Like you were stuck, we're sitting here, the grass is green, the sun's shining, and the A's are taking BP. So I think reminding yourself this is still pretty cool coming out here. And I think if you try to fight the rhythm of it, because you're going to have, it's going to be a little up and down. I think for all of us who work in the game, you can't fight it. You just have to let it flow.
The reality is the A's have done well against the Yankees since 2017 here, and it's easier said than done. But, if you keep them in the yard, they've only won 10 games this year out of their, 70, they've won 76 wins. Only 10 of them have come when they haven't hit a home run. So if you keep them in the ballpark, they're way under 500 in games they don't home.
The same thing with the A's, right? The A's don't score unless they homer.
I don't bring that up, Ken. I'm only talking about the Yankees.
Because the A's haven't homered on this homestand, right, pal? That's 6 games.
Yesterday's game was flying at an incredible clip. Was unreal.
But they're 2-0 in the 10th inning on the homestand so far, right? In extra frames with a placed runner, which you love. And Kotze loves it. He's a big fan of the placed runner. And I think bullpens are huge when you get late into a close game. But I think even more so when you have a weapon like a puck in the 10th inning, because you don't want runners to advance. You don't want the guy going for second and third. You don't want a sac fly like the A's won the game on a sac fly. When you have a strikeout pitcher in the game in the 10th inning like the A's had with Puck, it gives you a huge advantage. And we saw that yesterday with Puck on the mound. And of the 3 outs he got in the 10th, 2 were on strikeouts, and that's big.
Well, David Force, I told him. I went through this whole thing to butter him up and then asked him about.
Oh, I heard the whole thing about the pitchers not getting deep in the
Did you
games.
see how I went?
know, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean.
I threw a little football and basketball.
No, he was ready to go at it with you there.
Yeah.
I mean.
No, it's not happening. Okay, but then puck becomes way more valuable. Like this position of a guy, like you said, whether it's the 10th or I need a guy to get me through 6, 7. Puck, I think it was you said to me yesterday that you think this is his role going forward.
I think so. I'm not sure, and I don't think they're closing the book on it. And I'd love to see him succeed as a starter. I kind of think that a valuable starter is more valuable than a valuable reliever, if that makes any sense. But it may be that the role is telling the team where he's best suited, and that this is by far now. He's been healthy all year too, Chris. But maybe this is where he's best because he's thriving in that role right now. I will say this. I think if you have a club that's winning a lot, Chris, a contending team, you have to have 2 or 3 starters that can go deep into games. You can't have 5 guys that only go 5 innings, right? I mean, the really good teams have starting pitchers that can get you deep because if you're winning a lot, it's not a sustainable model to go to your bullpen and your top pitchers every day in the 6th inning. You can't do that. So if the A's get to that point where they're contending again, and we hope that that's sooner than later, you're going to have some guys that are going to have to give you 6 and 7 at least more often than not.
And that leads us to what we're going to be honoring this weekend, the 2002 team. When you talk about having starters who vibe off of each other, and it's just not Hudson, Mulder, Zito. Corey Lytle was a huge part during the 20-game winning streak as everybody starts feeding off of each other. When you look back, and I know we're going to have Billy Bean on tomorrow to talk about and look back on that year, just think about what you thought about at the beginning of the year, spring training, and just how that year was for you and looking back on that.
Well, parenthetically, the 10th game, I think, of the streak was in Detroit, the 10th or 11th game, and Hudson threw a complete game shutout in that game. And Corey Lytle was the pitcher of the month for 2 months. So those guys were lights out. Well, they did a movie about the season, right, Chris? Yeah.
A nice little book, too.
Yeah, there were a lot of question marks. Obviously, we all kind of felt that because Giambi was gone and Izzy was gone and Johnny Damon was gone. And what kind of club would they have? And they just took off. And, of course, they still had the big 3, and you still had Xavi and Tejada, on the left side of the infield, Chris. And they still had a pretty good nucleus of talent. And like we said, the addition of Lytle was huge, the late Corey Lytle.
Yeah.
And then Billy Koch. Billy Koch wanted the ball every day. During the streak, I don't know how many games he pitched. It seemed like he pitched every day, but he was a workhorse. So David Justice helped the club. So they another year where I've always felt that it would have been, if those clubs had been able to advance and maybe even get to a World Series during that stretch of 4 straight years going to the postseason, it would have validated how good they were. And unfortunately, they lost in the 5th game in the division series every year beginning in 2000.
The reality is, too, and kind of reliving now some of those moments in this documentary about Derek Jeter, the captain on ESPN, the 30 for 30, is that the A's were fantastic, but there were some really good teams during that time. So it was a great era of baseball where Yankees, the Red Sox were about to break the curse of the Bambino coming up. I mean, you had some really good ball clubs. So it's like the A's, yes, the tragedy of the Game 5, whatever. But, they're going up against some monster teams, some great players and Hall of Famers.
Yankees in 2000 and 2001. The Twins had a good team in 2002.
Good,
and then when the A's had to come back, because they played the 3rd and 4th games at Fenway, 3, they had to come back here to the Coliseum for the 5th game, and that was Pedro against Zito.
Derek Lowe closed that out, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and the A's had a shot in the 9th inning, and another tough loss. But no, they did. It was a great time in the American League for quality teams, kind of sadly for the A's. But still, those clubs, I think people realize truly how good they were.
At what point in the streak did you go, hey, wait, we got something going here?
Well, I think when they were on that road trip, and when they swept the Tigers for, I don't remember if it was the 12th straight game. I think
It was what, 4 straight against them?
I think so. Yeah, the thing that
It was Cleveland, then
Detroit. The thing that people forget about that streak is that the A's had a day off after the trip on a Thursday. And then they won the 16th game on a Friday. 17-18 was a Sunday, Tejada's home run. 19 was Labor Day on the Monday. The day off was Tuesday, and then the 20th game was on a Wednesday night. What people don't remember is that there was a serious threat of a work stoppage. The relations between the players and the owners had gotten to a point where a lot of us were thinking, myself included, that this streak that they had going when they came back off that trip might be a footnote in history, because we didn't know that the season was going to continue and not be interrupted on that Friday night when Minnesota came in until we got a call. I was literally on the golf course with Art Howe.
No. I don't believe this. You were on the golf course?
Art Howe and I were playing golf on Thursday afternoon on the day off before the 16th game, and he got a call, I think, from Billy. Someone in the front office, I think it was Billy, called Art and said, we're playing tomorrow. They worked it out. There's no work stoppage. And that was like this incredible, like,
relief.
Yeah. That because I wasn't sure that. In fact, I think on my coda to the call of the 16th win was a celebration of baseball at the Coliseum, because we didn't know if there was going to be baseball on that Friday night.
So Billy Bean is going to join us tomorrow. We're
Ask him about if it was Billy who called Art that day.
Okay, so yeah, so I'll get that, no doubt. I mean, that'll be interesting, right? Because we want to go through 0-2 with him and what it was like.
Speaking of golf,
the great. Of course, I've been playing. How are you doing? We have the here. Come sit down here.
You want to
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, here. Let him sit over here.
Here, sit over here.
JD, come on, buddy.
No, here we go. Yeah, we'll get that. Thank you, Ken Korak. Yeah. You are the greatest. The great Josh Donaldson.
This guy's one of our all-time favorites, obviously, man. Yeah.
And Towning, you're the best.
Go for it, you guys.
How are you?
Oh, hanging in there, brother.
You know what, man? I got to tell you, it's so interesting when you think about coming back here and how much this place loves you and how much you love it.
Yeah. I mean, this is where I came up. This is where it all started for me. So it's always nice to get back in the Bay.
Well, I was telling you a story. We were doing our favorite A's. And I was doing this whole thing. Who's your favorite A? And, everybody, Ricky, we're doing favorite A's. And then it gets to me. And everybody's like, oh, who's his favorite? I go, who's my favorite A? No question, it's Josh Donaldson. JD's my guy. And on the phone, waiting is David Forst, the GM. And we bring him on. I go, David, hey, who's your guy? And he goes, Josh Donaldson is your favorite A. I'm like, you gotta realize that's my guy, Josh. And it just, your time here was so interesting because there was greatness, there was some animosity, there was, it was just, but it still is such, when you look back on it, no matter what happened, such a good time because you guys won some big games.
There's some huge games that we played here that were, 2012 is still one of the craziest years. I think people will talk about it to where we won the division on the last day of the season. I think we came back from, I think it was like 11.5 down at the break.
13, something like that?
Yeah, something ridiculous at the All-Star break. And to come back and, sweep the Rangers for that entire series to win the division was improbable, but kind of symbolized our story for like that entire season to where we got knocked down a lot early on and we were able to fight back and crawl. And, we really had some guys establish themselves for the years coming after that. which was awesome.
You remember how loud and rocking this was place 12 and 13 against the Tigers?
Yeah, man. It was you got the drums, you got the Oakland fans going crazy, and remember it was a sellout, and they were trying to get the tarps removed and to have everybody come here, and it was nuts. For sure, one of the louder places in the playoffs that I've experienced.
So how are things going for you now?
Just living. We're about to have a baby come out, number 2 come out in probably about a week or really any day now. We could get the call. So excited about that, and excited about the rest of the season. We got a good team over here in New York, and starting to play a little bit better baseball. Hopefully, we can keep that going.
That's the one thing when the A's were back in New York. The expectations were that the Yankees were just going to never lose and never go through a downtime, and that you guys were going to win more games than anybody else. You're like, at some point there's going to be – it's a roller coaster ride.
I know.
And then, so at some point that there's going to be a down period. But now the big question is, how do you get back to that going up the roller coaster?
Yeah, I think throughout the year, to that point when we played you guys, we've been relatively healthy all year long. We've taken a few bumps and bruises. We lost a couple key pieces to our bullpen. Was able to obviously make a trade with you guys, and to bring Frankie in and bring Lou in, who Lou's looked really nice the last couple outings out there, and to be able to get some other pieces in there that are playing a significant role for us, and getting guys back on track in the bullpen that maybe had missed a little time earlier, didn't start off great. They're starting to pitch better.
I just looking at you in Yankee gear. When you first put it on, how did you feel?
I don't know. I didn't know.
You battled these guys for years.
Yeah. It was not only for the A's, but playing in Toronto for so long, and but I knew the opportunity. It was going to be a great opportunity. So did I ever see myself putting the Yankee uniform on? I'd probably not. I didn't think that, but it was an opportunity where I felt like, once I got that, I was looking forward to it.
I can tell you, I remember doing, this talk show when you got traded, and it was just like, oh God, it was the worst. And I said, watch. He's going to go there, and he's going to flourish. That place is a bandbox. Yeah. All those ballparks in the NL East and AL East, and all you did was go on and not only win an MVP, you got the most votes for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Just what was Toronto like for you after you left here?
Toronto, coming into that time, Toronto as an organization, it had been a little while since they won. And, being able to go win the division, that was something that hadn't been accomplished, I think, in like 22, 23 years. And obviously coming from the A's, we won the division twice. And then we probably should have won the division in 14. And kind of some crazy stuff happened where we had a bunch of injuries the second half, and we backed into the wild card game. Probably played one of the, craziest wild card games, in my opinion, where we had that game kind of on lock, and then it fell apart. Going into 15, we were a 500 ball club going into the All-Star break, and we had guys doing their thing in the All-Star break. But I remember when we made the trades for David Price and Troy Tulowitzki and added some arms in the bullpen, and then get Marcus Stroman back in September, like that place was crazy. The city was abuzz, and we knew every time we took the field that we were probably going to win the game. That's what we felt like, and that was kind of a surreal moment for me going into that clubhouse and seeing now you had names in there that had big time success with Tulo, with David Price, Joey Bats, Edwin Encarnacion. Now you're just looking around, you're like, holy crap, this kind of feels like an all-star team a little bit. And to where when I was at Oakland, we had dudes that made the all-star team, but were more kind of probably known as grinders versus that type of superstar.
It was a different scenario.
Right.
But you had a bunch of dudes in 14. You guys all went together.
Yeah, we had 7 guys make it, and I think that was a quality of how good our ball team was. And but you just had multi-time all-stars, so many of those guys in that lineup and in that clubhouse.
What was that like when you got the most votes for the All-Star game? You literally had the country of Canada behind you. It's one thing whether you played here or Minnesota or Atlanta or whatever, you have
Yeah.
a town behind you.
Yeah.
You had a whole country behind you.
Yeah. I mean, first off, Toronto is the third largest city in North America. I don't think people realize that. And then on top of that, you have the country of Canada that's behind you, and it's the love and support, and truly, in Toronto they love athletes, and they want you to have success, and to have those people behind you was great, and to lead the All-Star game in bullets was kind of a surreal moment for me.
I know, it's crazy. I remember just going, wow, that's a whole different ball game. For you, at this point, you got the big contract, got the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Is it now it's all just about winning a World Series?
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's the only thing that I've went to the playoffs numerous times, been in, several ALCS games, and haven't quite got there yet and haven't quite finished it off. And obviously that's going to be something that's important to me. And we feel like we have a good opportunity to accomplish that. Obviously we're going to need some breaks to go our way. And when it comes to that time, and that's when it starts getting really fun.
I miss having you on the talk show talking college football.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I mean,
think about it. Think how crazy, okay, in your world of War Eagle in the SEC, USC and UCLA are in the Big Ten. I mean, the whole landscape of college football is so out of whack right now. Texas and Oklahoma going to be in the SEC?
Yeah, I hope. I don't know if they're going to, but I hope they just completely redo the divisions for the SEC. With all the new teams and stuff they have, they need to have a realignment for the West and the East, because there's no reason really why Alabama and Auburn should be in the same division. Now you could still play every year and have the rivalry game,
the Iron Bowl.
You have that, but now to have Texas, Oklahoma, to where you could kind of put those pieces, one piece on each side, or maybe have it. I don't know. I think it just needs to be realigned with all the new teams, and it kind of the outlook of college football is wilder than ever. And with the NIL deals, and there's just so much money that's being made, and that's what obviously what everybody's trying to do.
I mean, you were living in it not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did you ever think you could see something like this while you were at Auburn, that the SEC, I mean, the SEC is basically a pro league now. The money they're making, the television contracts, they're essentially
the facilities,
a pro league.
The facilities that these guys have now, and what they have on tap there to access. And for me, like football guys, especially these college guys, I mean, they're literally putting their lives on the line. They're one hit away to where they might not play again. So if they need to make a little cash, for all the money they're bringing in, I'm all for that.
Man, it's great to see you. I know you're busy. I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
I've always said it. No matter what, you've been my guy. What you did for me in those times when the A's were coming up, and what you did for me on the talk show. One of my favorite stories ever was you were going back to Sacramento and you called up. My call screen was like, this guy says he's Josh Donaldson, that he knows you. And I'm like, yeah, it's JD. Bring him on. I mean, those are it was so innocent. It was so different, and it was so fun.
Yeah, that was actually telling one of my homeboys. He's from around here. He came over last night. We were chatting, and I was told we were going over that story again. I was like, man, I remember I just got to sit down at AAA, and I was listening to you guys on the show, and I'm like, yeah, Josh Donaldson just sent down Luke Hughes, picked up off waivers, and I'm like, I'm going to call him, man. I called it, and I'm like, hey, I know I just got sent down, but this isn't the last time you've seen me. And I'm going to figure it out. And that's just always what I wanted to. Partly that was me holding myself accountable for that as well. And hey, this isn't the end,
Are we going to see you back at the AT&T anytime soon?
I don't know. I'm on the East Coast, and it's tough for me to get back
Pebble
out there.
Beach, come on.
Yeah, well, the last time I played there, I made the cut, and they said they were going to take one of my strokes away. And I'm like, I'm going against guys that are getting 15 shots around, and I'm going to have to shoot 8 under on my own ball just to have a chance. And, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, those CEOs get a lot of strokes out there.
Yeah. I need to figure that out. If I could figure that out, I'd be out there. But they're giving me 2 shots around, and these guys are getting 15. That's kind of hard to compete against.
Well, always here.
Yeah, Tony.
We're always going to love you, man.
You're the man.
Around the A's, you're always going to be family to us.
I appreciate you. This is where it started, and I always appreciate getting back.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, man.
We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Hey A's fans, check out Longport Fish Company, an exciting new chef-driven seafood restaurant located in the Veranda Shopping Center in Concord. Longport features the highest quality lobsters, oysters, king salmon, flavorful cioppino, and much, much more. It features a full bar of craft cocktails, local brews, and a curated wine list. Longport Fish Company is for all occasions too. Date night, business meetings, catching an A's game at the bar, or bringing the whole family. Check us out at longportfc.com, on Yelp, and on all social media.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
Some things just go together. Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk, Oakland and Kaiser Permanente. If that last one caught you off guard, it shouldn't, because Kaiser Permanente has been helping keep Oakland healthy since our very beginning. And as the official healthcare partner of the Oakland A's, that won't be changing anytime soon. Whatever you may need, you can trust Kaiser Permanente to help keep you feeling your best. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org today.
Coming in at 5'3", it's number one mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom shakalaka. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
This is Chris Townsend for the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. Great news! Our indoor dining is back, along with our beautiful patio dining. Come taste our world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 83 years. The Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek has one of the most dynamic menus, plus a full bar. Pot pies, gourmet burgers, sandwiches, salads, flatbreads, and more. Don't forget, we still do takeout and delivery. For all the information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
When Northern California businesses need some pop in their lineup, they call the bank rooted in the East Bay, Mechanics Bank. Since 1905, Mechanics Bank has been helping Bay Area and Northern California businesses find success and perform at the top of their game. See how they can make a difference in your business today. Call or stop by your local branch or visit mechanicsbank.com. Mechanics Bank, the official East Bay bank of the Oakland A's. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is a national brand with family-owned prices and service. You can shop at one of their Bay Area locations, and all stores are sanitized and safe, or you can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
What a day today. Kent Korak stopped by, Josh Donaldson, our old friend, and now Cole Irvin joins us here on A's Cast Live after a fantastic performance yesterday.
Thank you.
Absolutely dealing. And I know you look at numbers. The four-seam fastball for you is just a weapon.
Yeah, I mean it's the primary fastball. The sinker is a secondary fastball. I've been treating it more as a secondary pitch this season, so and even more so lately. So it's been kind of fun to think through how I want to use a sinker in a lineup in the same respect as a changeup and curveball. So it's been kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you think about a fastball now, everybody is so consumed with velocity that I looked at your highest fastball, I think was you were like a radio station. It was 94.1, and then you averaged 91.4 or something like that. So it just goes to show location, location, location. You don't have to throw 100 miles an hour to get people to swing and miss.
No, you don't. And like something that I preach when I coach in the off season and coach young players is, if you focus on your development and about throwing strikes and the quality of strike you throw, it doesn't matter how hard you throw later in life when you're, my size and throwing hard, you're going to be able to locate when you need to. And that's, to me, is the most important thing for any pitcher to learn how to do when they're at a young age is locate. Not the spin, not the speed. It's just locate. And a lot of young players can learn a lot about pitching if they just focus on locating.
You think about when you came over from Philly, mentally where you were then and mentally where you are now. Mm-hmm. What's the major difference?
I think it's simple. It's just confidence that I'm a big leaguer. The confidence that I'm going to be able to get the rock every fifth day. And knowing that this is my role, this is my job, to get deep into ball games and give our team a chance to win. That's always exciting, and that's how I've been coming up through the minor leagues and even going back to my college days. I just always been an innings eater. I've always liked taking the ball every fifth day. So I think just the confidence in getting those reps and understanding how to work through big league lineups is important. And I've learned a lot over these past 2 seasons so far here in the Oakland A uniform, and I'm loving every bit of it.
And you're having a good time.
Always.
Now, sometimes you feel like guys are grinding. It's great. We want to hear about the grind, and it's the dog days of summer, and we're playing 17 straight. But the thing that I can tell about you is, man, enjoy life. You're having fun with this. You're the big leaguer.
This is my job. I get to throw a baseball at a hitter every fifth day, and I try not to take that for granted. So, I have, these little things, these small things that I do. And, before every inning, or before the game starts, when whoever's playing third base throws me the ball, I say, hey, let's go. Let's have some fun today. And then I look over to whoever's playing first base and I say, hey, you and me talking the ball over here, just small communication to remind myself, like, we're playing a game, we're having fun, we're doing it as a group together. And those are the things that I enjoy, is being able to interact with teammates and celebrate the small plays that they make behind me. And even talking with Shea today, I was extremely impressed with how he game planned for yesterday, and just the maturity he has to be able to break down hitters and those small things. I just appreciate a lot about what it takes to be a big leaguer. And we got a lot of good ball players in this clubhouse.
Yeah, we've been talking about the new company that's come to Oakland, Sears and Langoliers. And I'm like, it sounds like you could get like a dishwasher or a fridge or a microwave.
Of Home Improvement.
Yeah, Sears and Langoliers. This Memorial Day, you come to Sears and Langoliers. I can't get that off my mind. I'm like, I want to do a spoof commercial. I think it's going to be hilarious. Yeah, but you see a lot. I mean, all of a sudden the kid comes up, and it's like double, home run, double. He's worked one base hit in there, a bunch of extra base hits, and you see his athleticism. And then, for a guy, he doesn't look like he's got great speed, but he's got really good speed.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Doesn't act like a rookie, doesn't look like a rookie, doesn't perform like a rookie. What have you seen?
I think he's just been a great addition to the clubhouse. I mean, just his transitions when he's throwing guys out, whether the calls are close or not. I mean, he makes every play look like it's an out. Throwing out runners at second base. But like I said, I think there's a lot that he's brought to the table, and he shows his maturity as a catcher, as a young player. And I know quite a few people in the Braves organization that were raving about him. And so I'm excited to be able to play with him and help him with what I can. But he's mature enough that I can learn some things from him too, just in terms of what he's seeing from hitters. And there was a laughing moment in the dugout. I think it was like the third inning or something, and we both look at each other. We're like, do we have to throw inside today? Because the whole day I felt like we didn't throw inside, maybe once, maybe twice. And we just both laughed at each other. We're like, we're going to stick with this. And we did. And it was just one of those days where the battery is working well together. And, he's just a great kid. He's wanting to learn. He's wanting to work for his pitchers. And it's, you always love and throw into a guy that wants to work for you.
Do you mind if I speak for both of us?
Absolutely.
You shouldn't have come out of yesterday's game. You should have stayed in the game. If not complete the game, you should have gotten the win. If you didn't get taken out of the game, we wouldn't have gone to extra innings, and the ball game would have been over, and you would have had a W. So for all the people that say wins don't matter for starting pitchers, I completely disagree with you. Okay.
What matters is the team got the win at the end of the day, and we have a happy clubhouse. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
That's
as I'm speaking for both of us, I would have got the victory if I would have been taken out, but I'm a team guy, and all that matters. But you know what? For you, you want to be known as that guy that can go start to finish.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's how my mentality is, before every start. A good example, I made a start in New York against the Yankees, who are in town today, and I gave up 5 runs and I still went 7, and I still wanted to continue to be in that ball game. I didn't want any bullpen guy to come in that day because I felt like it was my responsibility to take the accountability of what I had given up that day, and I wanted to be the person that at least went 8.
Yeah.
And so, it's just always been in me. It's always been that thing that's maybe it's just the traditional coaching I was given when I was a young player is whenever you're given the ball, it's your game to finish. And so I try to bring the reliever out in me when I'm in the 6th and 7th. So that's why you probably see the uptick in velo every once in a while.
Well, the thing that I don't like, it's like all of a sudden, it's okay that a guy gives up some runs as a starting pitcher. That's going to happen. Not everybody's going to be perfect. To me, even if you do give up some runs, the fact that you can go deeper in the game and how that helps out everything. It helps out the bullpen for the next couple of days. Right. I mean, you're doing a service to yourself, to your team. I like being able to go deep, but I like how you have that mentality. And what I've been saying, because on this show is a little different than on the post-game show. On the post-game show about you, I've been saying, listen, he is in his prime. You are right in the middle of, we say, an athletic prime. It doesn't matter if we were talking about you're an NBA guy, a hockey guy, golfer, tennis player, baseball. You as a athlete, a male at this age, you are this is the best you're going to be. You're in your prime. Let the big dog go.
Yeah, but I'm still young in a lot of other people's eyes, and so I think there may be some protection there that may not be said, and I want to be pitching every day. So if I'm saving bullets for the next outing, so be it. That's another opportunity to go 9 that day. And so that's kind of just how I take it. I kind of just roll it into the next outing. So, I saved 8 pitches based on the 100 pitch count. So we'll roll that in. We'll roll those 8 pitches into the next outing here in Washington.
Well, if I'm going to ask you about Langoliers, the other part of the company, Sears, we got to ask Sears and Langoliers. This guy, a lot of confidence. What have you seen in this left-hander?
I absolutely love his work ethic. I love the way he goes about his business every day. He he's kind of very similar to Logue and myself. Just attack with fastballs, adjust with off speed when you need it. And I think the biggest thing for him is that he's trusting his stuff early. That's something that I didn't quite believe in when I got to the big leagues. Is I didn't trust myself, and I think that's something that he does really good. And he just trusts his stuff and trusts his abilities to get outs at this level. And for a young player, for a guy that's been traded to another big league club, and to be able to put up innings the way he's doing it, I know he was a little frustrated in his last outing not being able to be extended through the ball game, coming out with an early pitch count as well. That's part of it. You gotta take some punches, and I think his just mentality, his work ethic, all of that is he's going to be great for us here in the future, and just what a great addition, what a great trade to have him in this clubhouse. All the lefties, we got quite a few of them now. We're all bouncing ideas off each other, talking about hitters, talking about lineups, and it's become quite fun for me. Early part of the season, I was the only left-hander in the rotation, so it's fun.
If we start talking about the future, because that's what we do here and with talk shows, we always put the cart before the horse.
Always.
Start looking into next year. Like, we go into spring training. Like, if this was Mason, I'm going, okay, you, Blackburn, Cap, Sears, and then a whole group of guys battling for number 5. And plus, you never use just 5 guys. Aren't we really talking about a legit starting rotation that can compete every 5 days?
Some of those guys can filter into the bullpen too. Our bullpen's been great all season. They've had their hiccups just as much as the rotation has. And we got 10, 11 starters, however many we got on our 40-man roster that are competing and want the ball every 5th day. And you know what? That just brings the competition up in all of us, striving us to be better, to be our best selves, and come out every day and bring it. And that's what competition does, and that's what's fun about it. So looking ahead, it's exciting. It's very exciting for Oakland A's baseball.
And looking ahead for you, you have one of the best ERAs in the American League. Is it still the best home, Cody? Is he still best home?
I haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure it is.
You have one. You're either the best home ERA or you're one of them. So for you, what do you want to see from you? Keep it rolling? Is there something you want to work on down the stretch? What about you for the rest of the season?
Just keep these consistent starts rolling, getting deep into ball games, giving our team a chance to win. I think the more we win going into the end of the season, the more the happier we're going to be coming into spring training the next season. Because when you win together, that's how the culture is formed. And so it's important that we win as many games as we can coming down this stretch here, and just learning how to do it as a group. And we got such a young group here that I think it's the more we can get wins, the more we can take some series. It's just going to add to the motivation for next season to come out and know that we can play and perform together at this level.
I don't know if you know this, but I do a post-game show after where I got to talk to the fans, and talking to them is a lot easier when you win than when you lose.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's no different from, me talking to the media after games when we lose. It's not easy, but it's part of the game. It's part of the transition that we're in, but we all want to win. We hate losing, and we're having fun here right now. Yesterday was a good win for us coming into this series, and it's a big series for us as a young group to potentially win a big series against a good club.
All right, 2 things, non-baseball. NBC Sports California, they did a thing on. There was a mullet competition. It was National Mullet Day. And then did you know they threw your hair on there and asked whether it's a mullet or not? I say no. That to me, what you got is just gloriness coming out of the back of your hat.
Well,
I don't view it as a mullet.
This isn't in mullet form right now. Like when I actually go out to the field, take the field, and my hair is wet and slicked back underneath the hat, Oh, it's in pure mullet form.
Okay, but this right here is not.
No, this is just let it go. This is straight out of Frozen. Just let it go.
Yeah. You can sing it. Let it go. I have not. Trust me. I'll
save that for the team bus.
I have twin girls. I have every Disney princess movie you possibly could want. And then number two, and probably the most important. Are we ready for football season? Let's go.
Oh, I can't wait for
what do we got the Ducks? I mean, as long as you're still in the Pac-12, what do we got?
Well, look, we're gonna go win the Pac-12 championship, and that's gonna be about it this year. I mean, that's kind of how we do things up there in Eugene.
It might be. Hey, it might be. In all seriousness, these next couple Rose Bowls will be the last of what we have known. They've played over 100 Rose Bowls.
Yeah,
this is going to be the end of what we really know of the traditional Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I hate.
So you might as well win one of these.
Yeah, I would love to see us in a Rose Bowl game, especially with SC and UCLA, leaving the Pac-12 conference. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited for football season. We got a big fantasy football draft coming up here soon. I'm excited for college football. Saturdays are my day, as you guys know. I'm really looking forward to Saturdays. So I'm excited.
Do you try and pair anything with what Oregon is going to be wearing on the field, since you guys have like 8,000 different uniforms?
You know what? I'm gonna give myself a little better effort at getting some more Duck gear for Saturdays when we're finishing out the year here.
Please do. Let's see you represent.
So I'm gonna try doing better, because they tell the fans what they're wearing on Saturdays. So I should probably jump in on that trend out here on the field on Saturdays too.
I like speaking for us, by the way. That was fun. You didn't say it. I said it.
All him. All you.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey A's fans, check out Longport Fish Company, an exciting new chef-driven seafood restaurant located in the Veranda Shopping Center in Concord. Longport features the highest quality lobsters, oysters, king salmon, flavorful cioppino, and much, much more. It features a full bar of craft cocktails, local brews, and a curated wine list. Longport Fish Company is for all occasions too. Date night, business meetings, catching an A's game at the bar, or bringing the whole family. Check us out at longportfc.com, on Yelp, and on all social media.
This is Chris Townsend for the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. Great news! Our indoor dining is back, along with our beautiful patio dining. Come taste our world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 83 years. The Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek has one of the most dynamic menus, plus a full bar. Pot pies, gourmet burgers, sandwiches, salads, flatbreads, and more. Don't forget, we still do takeout and delivery. For all the information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights have taken full effect. Visit their website at lastdivebar.com or follow them on social media at Last Dive Bar. All proceeds are invested back into the A's Community Fund and their affiliated charities. Go to lastdivebar.com. That's lastdivebar.com.
Humanity has accomplished a whole lot so far. We created penicillin, the automobile, and the internet, not to mention drones, duct tape, and the hot dog. It's all thanks to the power of human connections. And Ring Central's here to make that even easier, more seamlessly and securely, on a platform built to grow your business. Say hello to a whole new way to say hello. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central. Message, video, phone, together.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is a national brand with family-owned prices and service. You can shop at one of their Barrie locations, and all stores are sanitized and safe, or you can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Bring the whole family out to the ballpark for Nickelodeon Night on August 27th, presented by Chevron, with fun for fans of all ages.
Pitch around a bunt. He pushes it.
And Seth Brown makes a great leaping catch.
Come see your A's take on the New York Yankees, meet some of your favorite Nickelodeon characters, then head down to the field to see the drones take flight for a dazzling post-game light show. Tickets start at just $15. You won't want to miss this. Find your seats at athletics.com today.
Coming in at 5'3", it's number one mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom shakalaka. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Innovation that's at the heart of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students map genes from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
A's Cast Live continues from the town. Here's Chris Townsend.
What a busy show today. Just rolling them off. Ken Korak, Cole Irvin, the great Josh Donaldson. This has been fantastic. Marley Rivera from ESPN, who covers the Yankees and covers baseball nationally, is going to stop by. When did we have her last, Commander? Was that last year or the year before that?
It was last year while we were down here. Funny, the last time we had her, the guest we had on before her, Billy Bean.
Really?
Remember we had Billy down here on the field for 40 minutes?
Yeah.
And then Marley came on after him.
Billy Bean will be joining us tomorrow as we'll be reminiscing about the 2002 Oakland Athletics. Kind of an important year. They wrote this little book and did a little movie about it.
I don't know. I also know Scott Hatterberger's the reason why they won all those games.
Fact. Hatterberg, if you watch the movie, I don't know how Hatterberg didn't win the MVP. The Cy Young.
Yeah. And Chris Pratt should have won an Emmy for how he portrayed Scott Hatterberg in the movie.
I mean, that was great stuff.
And we love Scott Hatterberg. I mean, he's a friend of the program. He's been on numerous times.
We haven't talked to him in a long time, though. Where has he been?
Isn't he? I think he still works for the organization.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have him. I think he's going to be here this weekend. If we don't get him, if for some reason he's too busy this weekend, the anniversary of the 20-game winning streak is actually September 4th, 2002. So it'll be 20 years exactly. But it's like an off day or a weekend for us. We'll get him for sure before that date.
When's the thing that I have to do? Is that Sunday?
Well, the thing with the thing with
team.
that's on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's from 10 to 11, and then we can talk to the guys from 11 to 11:45 down here.
My wife was said something, and I was like, "What day is it?" Because all these we've done 17 straight days, so it's I keep looking around because I'm waiting for Lou Trevino. Lou Trevino may be stopping by just the way Josh Donaldson is, but the Yankee players, they were just we're not going through PR for the Yankees. We're going through our personal contacts and text them. So who knows when they're going to be able to show up? We will have Lou Trevino. Didn't have a lot of time yesterday because we didn't have the show to talk about the schedules are out for next year. And already old man River out there is very upset about how we're going to have less games in division. And just thinking about that alone, because you could portray this as, oh my God, we're not going to be playing our rivals. Oh my God. Who the hell's our rival?
We don't have one. And don't tell me Houston.
Who is the rival in the American League West?
There isn't one.
You mean Seattle and Texas don't have a major rivalry?
No, you're telling me.
You mean Anaheim and Houston don't have a major rivalry?
I mean, Houston and the Rangers aren't even a rival.
Can you even name me a rivalry other than we get forced Red Sox Yankees down our damn throats every year?
In the American League?
So, by the way, less Yankee Red Sox, I sign off on that any day of the week.
If you're talking about rivalries in the American League, that's the only one. National League, you could say Giants, Dodgers, and Cubs.
Is
Cardinals.
that even a rivalry? The Dodgers have been whooping their ass for years.
And then the Cardinals have been. I mean,
Cubs are in a rebuild. So is that what? Now I understand. Cubs Cardinals is a great rivalry. Giants Dodgers is a great rivalry. We're having some fun. By the way, one of the greatest things that I've ever seen in spring training. I'm in an Uber and I'm pulling into Sloan Park there in Mesa. A's are taking on the Cubs, and on the corner was a vendor selling Cubs stuff for spring training, and they have all these different shirts. They were just blue shirts in white lettering with different stuff ripping St. Louis.
Of course.
Just ripping St. I mean, it was just harsh. Just little sayings digging into basically calling St. Louis a hick town. And I went, that's good stuff. That's a rivalry. Even though St. Louis as a baseball team versus the Chicago Cubs, can't compare the cities. Chicago versus St. Louis, there's no comparison. But there's no comparison between the franchises. One franchise it's nothing but championships and Hall of Famers. The other franchise played a bunch of day games and stink.
Yeah, they're not very good.
No offense, Ryan Sandberg, Fergie Jenkins, Ernie Banks,
Ron Santo,
Billy Williams, and those guys. But yes, you stink.
Yeah, they're not good now either. And that's so that like when you think of rivalries, you think of those three. Like Dodgers Angels isn't a rivalry. Sorry.
Give me the
Mets,
rivalry.
Yankees
Give me
one.
the right. So for all these old man River that hate that everybody's going to play to everybody, and I hate the schedule, name me the AL Central rivalry that we're going to get less games. Oh my God, if I get less Royals Twins, that changes my life.
Yeah, I don't know how you can live. No, it's down. It was 19 games versus each team. Now it's 13. You play in your division. So
do I get less White Sox against Twins? Oh no.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to see. I'm trying to think if there's anyone on either team that's a revenge series, but no. But yeah, there's no one in the American League besides Yankees, Red Sox that were forced, and that's 13 games now. We're gonna have to see them. So 13 times we'll see them play on ESPN
less
next
Sunday
year.
night, less Sunday night baseball, 4-hour marathons. So I don't have to watch it Friday night on MLB Network, Saturday on Fox Game of the Week, Sunday night baseball, 4-hour games. If you give me any schedule that gets Yankees, Red Sox less thrown down my throat, love it.
I will say I still think we're going to get Yankees, Red Sox at least 9 times on national TV next year.
They may just boost Yankee Red Sox to 30 games a year. It was Ken Korak, by the way, who made this point. It's a very good point on the broadcast. And Ken, if you're listening, text me. I don't know when it was, but Ken said it. He goes, there's going to be a big problem with weather.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what do you do? So you go somewhere for 2 games and it gets rained out.
Yeah, then what do you do? The series, if it's a 3-game set, what do you do? Fly back there on an off day like we've been doing with games
play
right now?
3 games on an off day?
Oh, no, if you're saying if you play 2 games and you're playing a 3-game set.
You're going to just fly in an off day doubleheader and then fly out after a doubleheader?
Yeah.
What if it's 3 games? I mean, I don't know. So, how will all the games be interleague games?
They're still considered interleague, I believe.
I mean, are they all 2-game sets?
No, there's no more 2-game sets. It's either 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so what happens if you have 3 of the 4 rained out or 2 of the 4 rained out? What are you going to do?
Off days, doubleheader. Something
could be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, look at one of the ones next year. Now, this is one that hits home for me. The A's go on the East Coast at the end of May through June, and early June they play Miami. They go to Pittsburgh, which is great. I'm trying to go back there for that. A's cast from PNC Park would be great. And then they play Milwaukee. So you're keeping the same time zone because Milwaukee's in the Eastern time zone as well, I believe. So you're already in the East Coast. That was one of the things I saw too. Well, all these teams are going to be traveling through different time zones. Seattle travels more than anybody.
Okay, first of all, if love it. First of all, if there is anybody out there that is worried about the players from a media standpoint, let me remind you that we just had a lockout where the players did nothing but bitch and complain about their piece of the pie. All right? We followed it. We weren't allowed to be on, and I thought it was a good move. But when we came on after that, we broke it down, I think, as good as anybody. Do I have to go back and remind you why we had a lockout? These players are complaining that they are not getting enough the piece of the pie. That's what they're saying. So if their issue is always going to be about we want more money, we want more piece of the pie, and this business can make more money by having you play in every single town, so generations of National League towns actually get to see Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Hank Aaron, Willie May, the greatest player, Johnny Bench, greatest players of all time, Barry Bonds, Ricky Henderson, Mike Trout, on and on and on, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, that every fan has a chance to see the great players and expand baseball and make baseball better and make baseball more money, because that's all you guys care about. If that's the case, I do not want ESPN. I don't want The Athletic. I don't want anybody. Oh, what about the players' travel? Shut up. You want less money? You want less piece of the pie? We'll figure out ways to have less games, less travel, and accommodate that. But if you want max money and you want the biggest piece of the pie that you can get of a business you do not own, you have none of the risk. Players have none of the risk. You have guaranteed contracts. You have none of the risk of this business. And you want max piece of the pie, keep your mouth shut about travel. Nobody wants to hear it. And why people in the media would even care about players and travel. Why would you care? It doesn't affect you. I don't know why you're bringing it up. You really don't care about the players anyway. You really care about them getting on a luxury jet, traveling to the next time zone to stay in a luxury hotel? You really think it's that hard to travel in luxury and stay at the Four Seasons and have a bus take you onto the tarmac, onto a premier jet, and fly you right to the next city? It's not that tough. And if they want max dollars with everything, now from when they come up to the end of their career, they want to get as much as they possibly can. We don't want to hear you talk about travel. Stop. You travel in luxury and you get paid handsomely for it. Where we tell you to show up, put your uniform on, play hard, and entertain people. That's your job. Boom.
I want to say one of the first people I saw tweet about it was Jason Stark talking about the Phillies travel and how they have to go to like the West time zone like 2 or 3 or 4 times this year.
The majority of the year you stay in the same time zone.
Yeah, I think the Mets only leave they come to the West Coast twice, or change the West Coast Pacific time zone twice. How many times this year have the A's already gone to the East Coast?
Falls on deaf ears. I'll take you to another sport. It was a couple years ago, a Jets player said something. The New York Jets did not leave the Eastern time zone for all 16 games. And they said to this player, what the hell are you talking about? You never went to the Central time zone. You never played out West. I don't know what year. It's like 3-4 years ago. The New York Jets never left the East Coast. Don't complain. What are you talking about? What you got? Look. Do you think the Yankees will all tell you right now, coming out here, oh, no humidity, you're out in Oakland, it's going to be nice here today during BP, it's going to be awesome during the night because it's not hot? You think they're bummed about staying in the St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco and then they're going to stay at the Ritz-Carlton Dana Point in Anaheim? Oh, that's really tough, playing in the Bay Area and then in Southern California? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm thinking of how the Jets.
And
works.
by the way, expanded playoffs. How about this? After nearly 5 months of baseball, 18 teams are either in possession of a slot or within 7 games of a playoff spot. I think the extra playoffs is working too.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people I saw in that same article was talking about how, well, there's not an incentive for teams. What do you mean there's not an incentive? There's more teams get in the playoffs. That's an incentive enough. If you're what because we're worried that a team under 500 make the playoffs. The Astros almost went to the World Series being under 500 in the 2020 year.
You know what? You're right. Let's go back to how baseball used to be. Let's go at baseball. So you just have one winner in the American League and one winner in the National League. Do you realize if that was the case, that the Astros would be leading the Yankees and everybody else would be out? There'd only be two teams in it right now for the American League. And in the National League, you would have the Dodgers on top of the Mets and the Braves. And pretty much everybody else, see you later. You'd only have, if you want a traditionalist and I'm a purist, you're a moron. But you want to go back to that, you'd only have two teams in the American League. Everybody else would be playing for nothing right now. And in the National League, you'd have 5 teams. Everybody else really not playing for anything. You want to go back to that? That's exciting? That really, you view that as exciting?
No, I like the way it is now. Right now, if the playoffs started right now, Astros and Dodgers will get a bye. Yankees will get a bye. The Mets will get a bye. So it'll be Mariners at Guardians, which we're playing right now. Actually, who ended up winning that game? I can't see.
Big Lou Trevino.
Seattle's up. Seattle won 3-1. So there you go. That would be a series. Then you would have Padres Cardinals. Well, see Padres even get in. Sorry, Bob. I'm taking shots at you, but your team's falling apart.
Time for you to give up for
a PSAC legend. I'll give it up.
PSAC greatness for PSAC greatness. Yeah, let's do this. Hey, Lou Trevino's back.
Are we live right now?
We're live right now.
Oh, nice.
Sit down. Have a seat. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I need to adjust to what you looked like when you were a kid with no beard.
I definitely lost whatever attractiveness I had. It's gone.
What was that? What was it like when you shaved it and you looked in the mirror?
It was disgusting. I realized I had no chin. It goes mouth, neck, no jawline. So it really, the beard hit it, but it is what it is.
I was thinking about this, and you may not remember, but it was right before you got traded. We had no idea what was going to happen, right? And I was late coming down the steps. You were coming up the steps. Normally, Lou, what's up? How's it? There's a conversation. I was like, Lou, how you doing? And I kept going. And then you got traded. I went, oh, my God. I felt so bad, and I didn't get to say, like, Lou, what's up? And the next you know, you were gone. That was rough. I mean, for a lot of fans and everything, you leaving. I mean, what you meant to this team, I know what it meant to you. It couldn't have been easy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I let the fans down a little bit this year with leaving with a 6. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But no, it's been the years that I've been here, the friendships that I've been able to have, not only with the front office, teammates. I mean, I've been able to meet a lot of fans. Like, it's definitely different to be in another uniform playing for another team in another city. But yeah, I'm gonna miss Oakland. I'm gonna miss all of it.
Well, I'm happy for you because there are times a reset's great, right? You go somewhere and now you're not worried. You're not trying to get everything back in one outing. Now you can get back to being yourself. Have you felt like that in New York?
Yeah, I've ironically enough, I feel great. I've been, as the more I throw, I feel like the better I've been getting. They've had a few tips for me, and I feel like my old self, like 2018-19 Lou. I feel like I'm getting the cutter back, which was my pitch. That used to be my bread and butter. In the last 2-3 years, I've lost it, and they've been able to show me a few things to get that back, and I've been feeling better and better. And it's nice to have that success that I know I could have. It's nice to have that again.
And past success is always huge. And I think about one of the greatest moments of your career, because your family was there, the wild card game, you stepped up huge at Yankee Stadium. How much could you call on that moment for when you got traded and you went out there and started pitching for the Yankees?
I mean, it's definitely good to have that success there. It is a smaller ballpark. It's very hitter friendly, and at times, especially with the crowd, it's easy to get out of it. But to be able to have the success that I've had at Yankee Stadium, it's a good a reminder of how good you can be, once you go there. And I've enjoyed it so far. It's been awesome.
When you stand on the mound and you look out at right field, you just go, really? It's that short?
Yeah, fly ball, you kind of hold your breath. But yeah, I mean, it's
like a sandwich to get it out of there. It's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, how I feel is how hitters feel when they come here, when they look at all the foul ground. They're like, are you kidding me? This is in play right here.
Yeah.
You know? So every stadium has their advantages and disadvantages. But I couldn't be more thankful and blessed to have had the career that I had here, and also to start the next chapter with the Yankees.
I think about you guys coming here, and we were just talking about no one wants to hear people complaining about traveling and stuff like that. You guys travel in such luxury, but I was talking about for East Coast teams, they love coming out here because you don't have humidity. You can come out and have batting practice, and it's the nice weather. Have guys talked about that since you guys have arrived?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful out here. California has probably one of, if not the best weather in all the United States. I mean, it's beautiful year round. I think the biggest challenge is, as an East Coast team, is coming out here and having to go back and being on short sleep. You get sleep cycles kind of switch. So, when you're here in the West Coast, it's easy. You only have a week out there, and when you go back, you're going to be fine. But when you go back there and it's 3 o'clock and it feels like 12, sometimes that can be tough, especially playing day games. But it's nice to not have to deal with the humidity, the sweating. We had our first rain delay. I haven't had a rain delay, and I feel like years. So I can count on one hand the amount of times it rained here. It's just been perfect weather all the time. So it's definitely an adjustment, but it's pretty cool.
We were asking Josh Donaldson this, and obviously it's been a while since JD played here, but when you think about your time here, you pitched in some big games, some real big games. Have you had any time just to kind of reflect on your career with the Athletics?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like I reflect on it all the time, but there's I feel like, and I could be wrong here, and maybe ask me in 10 years, it'll be a different answer. But when you start reflecting on something that you're currently doing, you kind of get stuck in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's it's nice to think about, if you step back and the fact that God's blessed me with the job to play a little league game, essentially that's what I get to do for a living. But if you get stuck on that, you kind of lose that edge. You're always, that's kind of how life is. You gotta look for the next thing. Although you do take a step back and you enjoy it, but I feel like I won't have the time necessarily to really step back and look at it until my career's over, because now I'm focused on the next thing, focus on, hopefully win a World Series with the Yankees. So it's, maybe I have a different answer in 10 years when my career's over. Hopefully it's 20 years.
Yeah.
But
hopefully I'm retired and you're still playing.
Yeah, that'd be something. But yeah.
So I have to think the big winners beyond just you has to be like your dad and your mom, and they don't have to stay up late anymore. They can actually watch games at a normal time. Just how to have their son back on the East Coast, not staying up late, has to be huge for them.
My family and my dad in particular have been super giddy, like you don't have to stay up till 1 o'clock, because that's when I pitch. 1 o'clock. All right. My mom's usually asleep. My dad's, all right, hon, get up. And my grandparents are able to go to sleep at a decent time now. But, it's nice to be able to be home. And if I want to, I live 2 hours from New York City. So if I wanted to, I could just go home and see everyone. I have a little niece and a little nephew. I haven't seen them in, ever since I left for the season. So it's nice to be that close. And I know with my parents, they were able to see my Yankees debut.
Yeah.
And
we saw it. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, we got to work on the handshake a little bit, but yeah, it was good. It's nice to be back on the East Coast. Nice to be close to family, and it's been a real blessing.
I mean, not to talk too personally about it, but you've moved to Florida.
Yeah.
And, you have your life there now, and you'll train in Florida will make it a lot easier for you.
A lot easier. And I don't have to worry about shipping anything. You just make the drive from the east side to the west side, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is. It definitely makes things easy. But like I said, I'm definitely going to miss Arizona. I'm going to miss it here. Again, I can't begin to thank the A's enough for the years that they've given me. I feel like there's at times where I know I'm sure if you're a fan, you're like, what the heck's this guy still doing up here? Especially at certain points this year. But to have the A's believe in me, the teammates have been talking about the lack of a beard. It's crazy. But yeah, just to meet the people that I've met, I know I've said this a lot, but I really couldn't be more blessed. God's blessed me beyond what I deserve. So I'm so thankful just to be able to come back. And it's nice to be able to come back here, not years later. I feel I was just here 3 weeks ago, so it's good to see everyone again. And yeah, it's been fun.
Well, you're grateful. It's what makes you a really good guy. And that's why we've always appreciated you coming on this show, and you're real honest. There were some struggles and you've always owned up to it. Some people shy from it. You don't. I think that's going to help you in New York and throughout the rest of your career, because, when you get in a big media market, if you ever do bad, they're going to ask you about it. You got to be a man about it.
I'll never do bad. What are you talking about?
No,
I'll never struggle.
Yeah. You will just be, you're Mariano Rivera and you're the next.
Exactly.
You got the cutter back.
Exactly.
Is that, by the way, just from, getting into it, when they start giving you suggestions, because obviously when they traded for you, they said, we're going to take him and we're going to try this.
Mm-hmm.
When you started doing those changes, were you like, wow, I didn't think about that, or why didn't I think about that?
Yeah, it's interesting how, I guess I've never had, I've always had one perspective. I've been with the A's for years. I've been training where I've trained for years, and I've never got different perspectives on things. So to get another perspective and thinking different thoughts when it comes to not only pitching, but mechanics, whatever it is, I got a different perspective. And like I said, I've been feeling better and better and better. So it's nice. I've always known what I'm capable of doing. I showed that in 2018 and 19. I'm not saying I had a bad year last year. I thought I had a pretty good year, but it wasn't up to, my standard. I have a tough time accepting mediocrity. I guess that's why I'm always trying to get better and better. But and I feel like I'm arriving to where I should have been for the last 3 years. So, I'm thankful for the Yankees kind of seeing the potential that I had, and I feel like they're going to help exploit it.
And I know for Frankie Montas, he got off to a tough start. Obviously, the family problem that he had, and you feel so bad and just a rough way. Last start was better, and because we're rooting for you guys and would love to see you guys win. And hopefully, Frankie, from a mindset, is doing a little better now.
Yeah, Frankie's going to be fine. It's one of those things. I mean, from an outsider's perspective, I don't think you see a guy just go out on the mound and just throw strikes. It's that easy. Well, he threw 8 innings in July, so he hasn't had the consistency when it comes to throwing, and then to throw a family loss in the mix, traveling all over the place, getting traded. He hasn't had that the repetition that we're used to having. As a baseball player, you come out and throw every single day. I know for me in the All-Star break, 4 days, sometimes that feels like I haven't thrown for a month. And then sometimes I struggle after the All-Star break just because you're used to throwing and throwing and throwing, and all of a sudden you stop for 4 days. So he stopped for, 2 weeks essentially, and then started throwing again. So, I wasn't worried about it because the guy is disgusting. He's filthy. He has some of the best stuff in all baseball. And I think last game he kind of proved that he started to look like himself again. And I know that, as the year goes on, as he gets consistency when it comes to throwing and everything else, he's going to be just as nasty, if not more, coming down the stretch.
Well, I can't thank you enough how good you've been to us for all these years. It's been fun to watch you grow. And what's crazy is we hate the Yankees, and now we got to root for the Yankees because of you and Frankie. It's like, no. It's one thing if Bassett gets traded to the Mets, who cares? It's the Mets, right? You went to the Yankees, but we got to root for it.
I can't tell you how many people have told me that. They're like, you went to the evil empire. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm happy to be here. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah,
because Pennsylvania people don't love New York.
No, as growing up a Phillies fan, when they beat us in 2019, that really stung, But no, it's awesome. I can't. Beyond thankful.
No, hey, listen, thank you for everything.
Of course.
We'll be rooting for you.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be rooting for you. That's going to do it we're going to end A's Cast Live today with the great Lou Trevino. How about that? Say goodbye to A's fans.
See you guys. Thanks for everything.
Coming up next, we got A's Total Access brought to you by Chevron.
The Coliseum has gone by many names, but none better than the Last Dive Bar. Hi, everyone. Ken Korak here, and my friends at Last Dive Bar are helping us celebrate our longtime home. Last Dive Bar has the most unique merchandise for all Oakland baseball fans. T-shirts, sweatshirts, the Ray Fosse line, and my personal favorite, the lights